There are three opportunities in today's market that are unique. Three streams of income that I believe those streams can become a river. And this is a pro's market. And I want to show you how to be a pro to your database. I want to show you how to expand your market, expand your business, and also expand your frame of reference and your client's frame of reference to the services you offer. So, three thoughts I have for you. First of all, here's the changes for buyers and sellers with the new market. So, I'll give you that and how to navigate it. So, you're not having contract cancellations and you're actually getting people to jump. You're not getting people going, I'm going to wait for the market to come down 25%. We need to let them know. You're going to do a disservice to them and yourself if you let them fall into that wrong-headed thinking. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is putting the I in investment and how the current market conditions are crucial for you to become part of people's investment team. And then lastly, out of state, out of mind. And I'm going to talk about how out of state moves are still going to happen at a precipitous pace. And our Canadian friends are moving to those warm weather states. That's actually picking up again. So you really need to make sure that you're in the game on all of that. So changes for buyers and sellers. These tips I'm giving you right now are to help you prepare and do a better job of leading your buyers so they don't contract cancel on you. The reason why these contracts are canceling is there's not sufficient preparation done before the contracts are written. So if I'm talking to a buyer right now, let me tell you what the benefits are of this market. What's the benefits? The rates are 7%. Well, first of all, there's no more panic buying. You're able to tell your clients, hey, I had people buy a house they kind of liked, but because we couldn't get them anything else, some of them bought houses they don't love. You no longer have to buy a home in a panic. I have a family member who was looking at a home the other day, and I told him, you don't have to jump on this. In the price range you're looking and the price you're looking at, you got a few days to think about it. You don't have a few months to think about it. You got a few more days because there isn't 27 offers coming behind you. So no more panic buying. I think that's a plus for a buyer. Secondly, there's more choice. Now, even though inventories are short, is that when they stay on the market a week extra, 2 weeks extra, 3 weeks extra, there's a couple of properties to choose from. So again, another benefit for a buyer, a little more choice. And then the third thing for a buyer is no more need for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Whether it's fixed for 5, fixed for 7, even if it's an adjustable, the phrase I would give my clients, I'm not telling you to say this, but what I tell my family, what I tell my loved ones is buy and then refi. Buy and then refi. You heard myself and Lawrence, rates will be coming down. I believe what's going to happen here in the next year will be not this flow, but we're going to have where the market responds to the adjustments of the Fed and of inflation data. And you're going to see times when all of a sudden the rates pop down a half a point and your buyers are going to want to buy. So it's going to be like slow, 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 buy, slow, 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 buy, slow, 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 buy. That's going to happen through the first 3 quarters of next year. As we turn the corner into this time next year, I believe you'll start to see the rates coming down, and especially into 2024. 2024 is when I expect to see rates come around. So basically, if someone has to suck down a 7% mortgage right now and tell them it's a year to 2 years, they'll figure it out. And so I think no more panic buying. Get the house you want, and then you'll get the rate you want. Some people have the rate they want, but they don't have the house they want now. So that's people who've afraid they've missed out. And speaking of people who've missed out, let's talk about sellers. We talk about FOMO, the fear of missing out. And so what's happening is, and again, this family member I was counseling the other day, they're looking at a house where the person has priced their home as if it's June, and they're holding to their price. And so what happens with the FOMO is, oh my gosh, my house was worth this. And loss is a far greater motivator than gain. So what I'm showing you here is a graph, January through October. And those of you who are listening, great, but I would encourage you to tune in and watch this because we have so many graphs on this presentation today. So in January, the median price in the U.S. was $350,000, and by October, it's $384,000. Now, in June, it was $416,000. So what's the seller focused on? Oh my God, it's $416,000. I've lost all this money. I should have sold, and a fear of missing out. And as the pro, you got to help them focus on $350,000. And that, hey, in January, your house was worth $350,000 and now it's $384,000. you're still ahead of the game. And by the way, go a year back before that and show them what it was worth the year before that. So, you know, nobody times the market perfectly on purpose. That happens by accident. I was sharing a friend the other day. I bought a house for 1,000,001 and sold it 18 months later for 1,550,000. That is not brilliance on my part. That just happened to be, I sold it when I needed to sell it and it happened to be the top of the market. That's not genius. It could have been easily the other way around. So what we need to do is bring people back to a cadence. Hey, you bought the house for 200, now it's worth 384. Here's the rate of return. Oh, by the way, you've outperformed the stock market by 50%. Like, that's the kind of stuff that people need to hear. What inexperienced, unprofessional, non-pros are doing right now are being led by the nose by a seller who said, my house was worth 416 in June, and by God, we're putting it on the market at 416 now. And the agent goes, okay. And here's what happens. A real pro is going to come along in 90 days and take that listing from you. They're going to cancel that listing with you. A real pro is going to sit down and go, hey, look, I understand that was a high watermark, but look, let's go back a year ago. You've already made this much money. Since you bought your home, here's been your rate of return. And that people buy emotionally and justify logically, and all of a sudden, okay, I'm not a dope. I didn't miss out. I didn't make poor decision. People need to know that. And that's what a pro is able to do. And so FOMO creates Mo. The fear of missing out can create momentum for a seller to sell. Next, for a seller, more reliance on the agent. The fact of the matter is, you know, during times when you sell a house in 5 days and you get 20 offers, people go, I could have done this myself. Let me say this, the market we're in now and the market that's coming is going to be more dependent on the skill level of a pro. And people are going to pay for it, and people are going to need it, and people want it. Couple of stats here. And this is from the home buyers and sellers guide that NAR puts out every year. 53% of sellers use the same agent to purchase a home as sell their home, a share which increases to 85% of sellers when purchased a home within 10 miles. Bottom line is they want to sell with you. They want to buy with you. Very, very powerful. The other dynamic, and again, this is from the National Association of Realtors, not the National Association of Buffini Working by Referral Systems. The typical seller has recommended their agents twice since selling their home. 27% of sellers recommended their agent 4 or more times since selling their home. Do you have a system in place to cultivate those referrals? Are you staying in contact with your past customers? Are you providing items of value and connected monthly interactions, calls, notes, pop-bys, seeing them, connecting with them, being in touch, following up, providing valuable information like this from the real estate report so that they'll refer you over and over again? I hope you take our lead and do that. And then the last thing I want to share with you is the prices are solid. You know, prices are solid. You heard that. Please remember that statement. Prices are solid. That's good for a seller. Prices are solid. Prices are holding their ground. Rates have gone up. It's been a real adjustment. I mean, a real hardcore check to the real estate industry. But prices are holding. That's a very, very powerful thing for a seller. So they're not on this giant roller coaster. So there's FOMO. Use that to create momentum and motivation for a seller. More reliance on the agent. Very powerful. It means we're more valuable. And then prices are still solid. That's very good for a seller. Second major thing I want to talk to you about is putting the I in investment. The fact of the matter is that 92% of homeowners who were surveyed were asked to name their financial advisement team, and 92% of homeowners did not have their agent on that list. Does that mean people have a very dim view of realtors? No. It means that people associate an agent with, oh, they help me buy my home. They help me sell my home. I love my realtor. But they don't think of a realtor as a part of their investment strategy team. It is our job to put that in their mind. And if you'll do this systematically, and I have some resources to help you with this, if you will do this systematically in 2023, you will pick up extra clients, existing clients who'll do more business with you, and more referrals. And that is this: real estate is the number one protection against inflation, always has been for 100 years. And what does inflation look like? So I'm going to do a little basic thing on this because no one wants to talk about this because it's all politically charged anymore. But I just want to do a basic overview. Let's say someone has $1 million cash on hand in the bank. And the bank is what makes people feel safe. It's an electronic mattress, right? You have money in the bank, you feel good. And by the way, when COVID came, saving rates all over the world in all cultures exploded. A lot of the money that was given out to people, they kept and kept in their savings rate because it makes, oh, there's scary things going on. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I need to see cash in my bank. Well, if you have cash in the bank and you have an 8.5% inflation rate, as we've had, at the end of 1 year, that $1,000,000 is $915,000. So if it's $100,000 you have in the bank, it becomes $91,500. By the end of year two, with the same inflation rate, that $1,000,000 is $837,000, or that $100,000 is $83,725. The fact of the matter is, when the money is in a bank and it is just holding there and inflation hits it, there's a hole in the bucket. The guy once said, oh, I made a small fortune in the bank. How'd you do that? Well, I started with a large fortune. So you just need to understand that money atrophies with inflation. That's why inflation is such a deadly thing. That's why the Fed is being so draconian in its approach. Nothing harms economies and people more than inflation. So you need to be able to converse with your customers about this. If they have $1,000,000 sitting in a bank, imagine they had that same $1,000,000 sitting in a piece of real estate that right off the bat's going to hold its value. So if somebody put $1,000,000 into a piece of real estate 2 years ago, that $1,000,000 is now worth 837,000. No, in real estate, it actually went up last year. So it's probably 1.1. And if it went in investment real estate, it's 1.1 plus the income coming off the investment real estate. You have to position yourself as a person who can help your clients with their investments. So the second part of that is you got to let your database know. You got to let your database know. So we have, and I say I wrote this letter for you, and it's called Real Estate, the Ultimate Hedge Against Inflation. So, dear Mary, as you know, we currently live in highly inflationary times. What you may not know is that over the past 40 years, real estate has proven to be the number one asset class as a protection against inflation. Now, you may know me as someone who helps with people's residential real estate needs. However, I'd also like you to consider me as a resource for multifamily and commercial investment as well. If you or your friends or colleagues would like to grow your assets during these inflationary times, please feel free to give me a call and I'll be happy to take care of you and your referrals. So we have that letter for you. Now, you may say, I don't do commercial. I don't do multifamily. Well, go find a relationship with someone you trust. Between now and the new year, go to lunch or have a coffee with people who specialize in investment real estate or commercial real estate, or maybe you can help. I mean, you can do investment real estate up to 4 units pretty easy, a duplex, a fourplex. And so it's a very, very important stream. People right now are looking to park their money beyond their house. And where can you help them out? So go to buffiniancompany.com/2023 resources. Just like we have the real estate report, you'll find that letter there. It's very powerful. Your clients don't know. How do we know? 92% surveyed said they did not think of their real estate agent as part of their investment advisory team. That is criminal. You have to be part of their team. You're doing them a disservice. If you have people with $1,000,000 in a bank who are turning it into 837 and you could have helped them, that's nuts. So let's get in the game. And whether it's 100,000, 500,000, a million, 3 million, be there, let them know, take care of it for them. They can buy residential real estate. If they want to buy the other stuff, commercial, multifamily, you're not comfortable with it, find someone who's good at it and refer them and get a referral fee. Another stream of income. Next is appreciation and cash flow. Now, I would need an entire episode of the It's a Good Life podcast to teach you on appreciation and cash flow. You need to be able to speak that language. And so thankfully for you, I did an episode on that. And it's episode 94 of season 2 of the It's a Good Life podcast. And I did a podcast entitled The One Decision That Makes a Millionaire. Okay, so go to the It's a Good Life podcast. And we also have the It's a Good Life website. So if you want, actually, the website just got launched 3 days ago. And if you go to itsagoodlife.com, you'll see a website there which actually has bundled together groups of our favorite episodes. And so there's things on investment and all that kind of good stuff. real estate or personal growth and development, time management, whatever it is. We've grouped these together so you can see these episodes because we've done hundreds and hundreds of episodes and it's tough to kind of find them. So that One Decision That Makes a Millionaire, I would definitely listen to that so you can speak as somewhat of an expert or with intelligence to someone following up on that letter that you send out. So again, a great tip there for you. So first and foremost, we talked about buyers and sellers and the changes. And then secondly, we talked about protect from inflation, let your database know, and then ultimately be able to speak about appreciation and cash flow by putting the I in investment. Lastly, here, I want to talk to you about building your out-of-state, out-of-mind network. You've heard of out-of-sight, out-of-mind? The transitory nature of our population is going to continue to increase. Taxes, weather, retirement, these are significant reasons. Affordability, that people are still moving. And so what you need to make sure you do is that you build out your network of agents, that you have a personal relationships with people all over the country. And whatever your state is, whatever the symbiotic relationship is. It was interesting when I was in Toronto, a lot of people from Florida and North Carolina flew up to that, as well as people from Arizona flew up to that Toronto event. Why? Because the snowbirds like to buy in warm weather states in the US. You need to build out your referral network, okay? Now, at Buffini and Company, we have one of the most dynamic networks in our membership. And if you are a member, I want you to take greater advantage of this. If you're not yet a member, you should become a member. And here's why. I'm showing right now on the screen a graph from our internal analysis. Now, I want to give you a context on this. Referral networks typically have anywhere from a 3 to 5% connection rate between someone who puts their name and information into one of those sites and ends up talking to a realtor or lender. We are right around 96%. And these are pretty much members who have a client move into a different state or area who enter in their client into this portal. We don't charge for this. We just pass it member to member. And what I'm showing you on the graph is here's the 9,300 clients that are pending. There's already been 26,000 connected this year, 900 canceled, 420 ignored, 43 got disconnected. So this is through November, we have 37,420 leads. We're expecting the number to finish somewhere just under 39,000. And that's only for 10,000 members. So we have 10,000 members who have access to this. Our people in our coaching or people who are in our referral, our Maker Pro system. That means there's 4 leads on average for every single member. Now, by the way, the more people actually let their database know they can help in this area, the more leads there's going to be. So I want you to think about it. Just as an investment in your membership at Buffini and Company, you're going to get 4 leads next year, a minimum. That's pretty good. So for those of you who are members, you need to be active and connect with the members more, get to events, see one another. We have at our masterclass events, we have the night before a mixer for you guys to connect and interact. Other events that you can go to so you can build relationships and connect with others, connect through the small groups, all the different ways you can connect. And again, in our 100 Days to Greatness training, I actually put a dialogue in there that it says, are you guys working with an agent in Dallas yet? If I'm talking to somebody. You know, you may not know this, but I'm part of a network of top producing agents, and I can reach out and find someone in the Dallas area that I can have a lot of comfort with who'll take good care of you guys the way I take care of you. Let's talk about that when we meet. So when I find out someone who's thinking about moving out of state, I let them know, hey, you know, I can help you find an agent. And they're like, well, that's great because we don't know anybody. And they're looking for you as the trusted advisor to do that. So we train you. We have the letters to do that, the dialogues to do that. And we actually have the technological system to support you in that. And it's working out to be 4 referrals per member. That's a big opportunity, I believe, in 2023. I think that number is going to continue to grow. And so make sure you're part of that. And then the last part is like I say, out of state, out of mind. There's transactions and referral fees. Okay. There's both transactions because you can connect people. And then there's referral fees, which is spectacular. One of our all-time favorite clients, Kim McAtee, she's from Moraga, California. She just had her daughter, Megan, join her in the business. And she has, over the last 5 years, closed $43.8 million in transactions only referred through the Buffini network. So she's made over $1.25 million in commissions from either clients coming to her that she worked with or referral fees she received. So, okay, $1.25 million in 5 years. Okay, $250,000 a year she's making in just referral fees through the network. So out of state, out of mind. Make sure your clients know you're able to do that.